You have a different cup every week.
This is off my niece's Christmas one.
Okay, everyone.
We're
just talking about cups. We're just talking about cups before we come into the pod. That's good.
He has a different cup every week.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Dirty Old Podcast. There's four of us on this podcast today. There's me, Coops, Rousey, Gav, and who we got in the background, Gav?
Pete.
He
looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh, he's over in Ukraine.
He's still
in
my cover
been captured by the Russians.
He had a dodgy pie at weekend.
Dodgy pie and 10 cups of vodka.
10, 12.
Welcome back, chaps. Thanks for coming on again, as usual. We're going to go over the Sutton game from the weekend. I know, Gav, you had to go back home without watching the game. But if you want to tell that story, you can when we go through to the game. We've got a lovely Who Am I from Gav, and we'll go into the Grimsby game, and then we've got a lovely song created by our song creator, Anthony Rouse. Solar Salford songwriter.
Song creator.
That should actually be a title, shouldn't it? I'd take that.
I think it flows, to be fair. It does flow off the tongue quite nicely, doesn't it? So, songwriter. Yeah, it does. It does, Gav. I can see you looking, but I think it does. I'm
trying. I'll work that one out. Yeah.
I'm like the Paul McCartney of Salford fans.
I reckon he needs a badge, right? He needs a badge.
I do.
Name badge.
Get the badge in.
Well, guys, one thing I'm gonna brag, because I mean I've had stick in the past over like Warren Joyce comments and stuff like that, and loads of other things.
Did he score a penalty?
I got a few things right, to be fair. Not only did I get the scoreline correct, 2-1, I also said we'll play with 3 centre halves as well. I absolutely nailed it, so I'm taking that win as well as the Salford win. But no, on a serious note, I'll let you go into detail, more Rousey go into detail of the game. Just to throw in a few stats out. Again, it was another possession-based game where we had 64% of the ball, 14 shots in total with 4 on target. One thing I did want to mention while I'm going through the stats is what we talked about last week about how League Two teams play, the amount of fouls, yellow cards, etc. They had a player sent off. Yeah. But if we look at the free in terms of the free kicks given, we got given 22 free kicks compared to their 8. And 22 free kicks they got. Hang on. Scratch this.
Oh, here we go.
I'll get it right. Right.
Statistician.
Yeah. So we won 22 free kicks compared to their 8. Now, one of their 8 was offside, so that leaves with 7 fouls, and we got 4 yellow cards. So for 4 out of the 7, free kicks given, we got yellow cards. They fouled us 19 times in the game, and all right, got a red card, but that was an off the ball incident.
It was.
But I think they got one yellow card.
Did he stamp out or kick out or something?
Kicked out.
Yeah. I seen Vassell doing the gesture, but I didn't see it obviously in real time, and watched the replay in the highlights, and I didn't actually see anything.
It's not the first time though. It's not the first time that opponent's been sent off because of Vassell, so he's probably giving it this in his ear.
He is a bit.
I just wanted to make that point because I think they had a player sent off, but it looks like we are getting kicked. Gav, you mentioned that last week about we're going to get kicked. We're going to rise. We need to rise above it because that's what's going to happen. You can see the yellow cards that we've got. Trying to think back on the game now. I'm not too sure whether that's just more for giving a bit of back chat to the referee or it was for the actual tackles. But it doesn't seem as fair. And I know it doesn't work like that. Some tackles are worse than others. But when you've got a massive difference in terms of 8 and 22 free kicks, and there's for 7 of our fouls we got 4 yellow cards for it. It's a bit out of the ratio. But anyway, Rousey, go through the game, mate. 2-1 winners. What do you think?
Yeah, result was good. Game passed us by a little bit, I think. I mean, from a supporter's point of view, it was a bit drab. First half, one to quickly forget. Again, you mentioned it in your sort of opening pitch there, very, very possession based. We had a lot of the ball, didn't really seem to do a lot with it. In my opinion, it was just a very stale first half, not a lot going on at all. I think, like I said, we can quickly sort of forget about that one. Red card changed the game. Obviously, again, that allowed us to sort of pick up the initiative and go for them a little bit more. But yeah, it was just one of those games where it was a bit frustrating from my point of view. I mean, like I said, you'll take, was it 2 goals in 7 minutes in the last, in the last 10 minutes of the game? You'll take that as an away supporter and sort of class that as not a perfect away performance, but the way to go about doing it against a team that's playing very, very well at home at the minute. Yeah. And they'll probably be up there, towards the end of the season. I did say I think we were giving Sutton too much credit in the last podcast. They weren't great. They weren't pulling up any trees or going for us on, playing us off the park, or really giving us anything to worry about. But like I said, it was just a bit drab, the game. And just a little mention to Chapman, because what a save at the end of the game, kept us in the lead, and obviously that for me was as good or as big as a goal personally, and good for him as well. You know what I mean? Because straight away he sort of endeared himself to the fans. I think the fans have with the EFL, the Papa John's Trophy game, I should say, and that. I think he's quickly becoming a fan's favourite. So yeah, not really a lot to talk about in terms of stats in the game. It was a bit poo. It really was. It was good in terms of the result. Obviously, the fans that went will have enjoyed it, and the way it came about. Like I said, you can't ask for anything more than that. 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. But I felt that we could have played a bit better. We just really didn't. Red card. It's always going to change the game. We're going to get a lot more of the ball then. So, like I said, that just goes with the notion. But yeah, it was a little bit stale from my point of view. So, not a great performance, but obviously a good result.
Yeah, I think I think I mentioned on Facebook as well. Straight away again, in terms of being entertained, the football wasn't a great spectacle as such. But again, it's about that grinding out the results. Again, when you look back over the season, where you go, okay, yeah, red card can change the game, but we've seen against who did we play? Was it Crewe? Was it Crewe that had a player sent off as well? Who was it when we played Doncaster?
Swindon.
Sorry,
we never capitalised on that.
Yeah, so it should change the game, but sometimes it doesn't always. And I think the fact that obviously Sutton had a really good home form as well going into that game.
Lads took that goal really well as well. That was a good goal. That I don't think there was a lot really anyone could do about it. It was played in. The lad made a late run in and finished it really well. So, from my point of view, again, people will disagree with me. I don't think really anyone was to blame for their goal. It was a good finish, and they worked it in well.
I think literally before that cross came in, if you look back on that, you see it on the highlights as well. Play about that same play. Previously, the cross initially came in from that same person, went across, we cleared it, and it worked its way back to the left winger again, and he's whipped it in the back post. I mean, I know people would point fingers at certain plays. It is just one of them things, you try and defend, and it was a good run. 1 minute he's not in that space, and he's made a run, from 10 yards, and he's got there. Yeah, we should pick it up, but we didn't. But then there was other comments, and I just want to again give my opinion on what I was reading as well, as like Hendry, not scoring goals. He probably isn't going to be the type of person that's going to get you 20-25 goals in the season. But when we scored, was it for the winning goal where he picked up the ball inside our own half, and he picked up the ball, and I was like at the TV going, what are you doing there picking up the ball? Why are you as a centre forward picking up? And then he takes one, maybe 2 players on it. I think he meant to go around the second, but the ball then went into Lund. Lund fed it into Watson, and I thought, well, fair play. Like he might have been out of position in my opinion, but he's done something with the ball. But look, they set up a 4-4-2 as we thought they would do, and we got the result. They could have quite easily played the Tranmere tactic, But we found a way regardless, and a start for Burko as well. How do you feel his game went, Ralston? Sorry, Gav,
Yeah,
because he wasn't there.
no, he played well. He was solid. Like I said, I don't think really any of the lads did anything wrong. It was just a bit meh. You know what I mean? It was one of them from the lads. It was no one really, in my opinion, stepped out of line, did anything wrong. I know, like I said, I think Hendry did get a bit of criticism on some of the forums, the Facebook pages and stuff like that for, you know, for missing chances and things like that. But the lad works hard. He's so busy up there. And I think if you probably look back at, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 goals we've scored this season, he's picked it up from those midfield positions and created something. So, yeah, he doesn't. He does miss a lot of chances. Hopefully, he'll start putting them away. I know he probably doesn't do himself any favours being the number 9, in my opinion, because that's what you'd expect your goal scorer to do: is bag them and bury them week in, week out. But he works so hard up there. Like I said, he creates a lot of problems for lads, and I don't mind him doing that. You know, he's in the positions, he's having the shots. It's just they're not going in.
Yeah, I mean, how did you think? Because it seemed like we set up a little bit different with obviously Smith making the start and they're going alongside Hendry as well. I don't. The good thing was I didn't look at the game and think we're playing a lot of hoofball. It looked like there was a time and a place where we did kind of play a more direct pass into Smith. I don't really think that there was kind of that partnership where, you know, Hendry was running off a shoulder because Smith was going to potentially flick it on. But, you know, either way, whichever way you want to dress it up in terms of team selection and tactics, and we've come away with a 2-1 win. So you'd have to say that actually Neil Wood, whatever we think as fans, has got it right in the end over 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I would say in the end, I think at the start, like I said, we were talking in the stands, and I kind of felt like that starting 11 was a little bit Papa John's trophy. For some reason, I just felt like that. It was a bit scatty. I don't know whether that's injuries. I don't know whether that's lads are impressing him in training or what. But the starting 11 was a little bit questionable for me. But yeah, like I said, the lads didn't really do anything wrong. They didn't. I never felt like the game was getting away from us. Even when we went 1-0 down, I always felt that we had enough there to get back into the game. And thankfully, like I said, the red card changed it for us because we could get on the front foot then. But really, the argument would be that we should be doing that from the get-go. But I'll take it.
yeah, absolutely. So I mean,
yeah, so yeah.
What do you think, Gav?
Yes. To be honest, I did have a few conversations with a few people because I was interested myself and how it was about to score because I was a little bit critical on going there. And the plain and simple answers I got was Salford were average, boring, nothing special, didn't look like a decent team. So I asked the question, did the sending off change the game? The initial comments were not really to start with. I think it's still, straight after the sending off, apparently, we were still a bit average.
Yeah, we probably
for another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And like I said, whatever happened, the last 10 minutes, like I say, we did what we needed to do, which is fantastic. Get 2 goals, get the points is the whole thing. But apparently before then, like I said, I didn't see it. We was average. That's the comments I were getting. Like I said, I don't watch replays. I just, like I said, I prefer just sitting at a match or don't watch it at all. But yeah, that's the feedback I got. But again, it is. I think you both said it's 3 points. We're there for points, aren't we? We're not there to get badges for playing well. You do that in primary school, don't you? So.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to see.
It's a great 3 points, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's nice to see from a supporter's point of view the team playing well and fancy football and that sort of stuff. I'll take that because that was a tough away game. And yeah, we brought the 3 points home. So who cares how it came about? But yeah, it was all those things. It was very drab.
Well, I think match by match, as fans, you want to be entertained. But if we fast forward to the end of the season, and here's 2 scenarios: you played the really entertaining football for 46 games, but you don't hit the playoffs, or you get in the playoffs, but you don't win the playoffs, and you've got another season in League 2. And you might look back at that and go, but you're going to get a portion of fans that are going to go, but we've played really good football. I've enjoyed this season. And then the other fans go, we played all that entertaining football and it's got us nothing. We've got another season in League Two. Or you get promoted by playing half the season drab games that have been boring to watch. But then fans are going to go, but we got promoted. Yeah. So, I think everything's got to be evaluated a bit by the end of the season. But obviously, the whole point of the podcast is we see it match by match. We try and sort of break it down a little bit and give our opinion as we see it at that time. But I'm sure at the end of the season, we'll all be saying something different. Fingers crossed, but we'll see. Yeah,
we hope so.
Let's have this "Who am I" from you. Now, don't be smart and say, I know who you are. I mean, the game, "Who am I?" Go for it.
What a game.
Who am I?
Oh, come on. Get that magic bit of paper out, Gav.
Who am I? My middle name is James.
God.
I am 6'1"
ish.
I'm right-footed. Well, I'm guessing about 6'1". It's approximately. I'm right-footed. And your last clue, because you're having no more because the other clues will be too easy. I was once on the books at Leicester City.
You say you'll give us one more clue.
That's it.
Was the previous 3 clues? Oh, right.
That's hard.
So shall I go through them again?
Yeah.
The other clues, I think, would make it too easy. So it isn't an hard one, but it is hard if I don't give you the easy clues, so to say. So my middle name is James. I'm approximately 6'1". I'm right-footed, and I was once on the books at Leicester City. Who am I? Wait until after the next.
Is this current or past?
So I don't know, but basically it's definitely a football player. So it's no one backroom staff taking penalties and stuff, or no Graham Alexander. No, it's not a manager. It's definitely.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
It's definitely a player. So I'm not about to say present or past. I'll say it's a player, and like I say, it's not backroom staff, not a manager, or none of the owners, etc.
Okay, it's a tough one. I think it's going to be an educated guess for a lot of people listening to that one. If anybody gets it right, though, fair play to you. But we'll, if you're listening, have a little think about it. We'll give the answer at the end. So you got to keep on listening. You're going to have to just listen to us for another half an hour to get to the answer. Okay. So.
Do I have to? Oh, sorry.
That was good, Gav. Thank you very much, mate.
Wasn't good. That was solid.
Honestly.
Well, sometimes when you have to say the right thing.
You'll kick yourselves after.
I think I might have a good guess, to be fair, but yeah, might go for Warren Joyce. Don't know yet.
I'm going to guess.
Spoil it.
I'm going to guess Warren Joyce.
Don't spoil Joyce.
The good thing is, Gav, we'll go on to the Grimsby game. And we'll come to you first because I know you've been, sort of isolated for the first 10 minutes as me and Rouse was talking about the game because we watched it. You didn't, but you tried to, you didn't. But you can have your fair share on the Grimsby game. What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
I didn't know the podcast had started. I just been sitting there listening to you two. I was like, yeah. I think about Pete's poor head. So Grimsby. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is about to go again. Like I say, it's as a fan, I want to be going, yes, without win, or it's about to be a tough one. The important thing again is not getting another defeat, no out of our 12. So getting these scrappy wins and getting these draws, it's fine. Let's not get beat. I think it'll be tougher than what I'm expecting because I'm expecting really when I first fought Grimsby, I thought we're at home, Grimsby, good win last week. Bit of confidence in the team. Everything you're hearing coming from the club is all the lads are happy, they're confident. The team's like together, the togetherness is there. And I'm not sure that's been there for the last few years to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So the vibe's coming out good. And I want to say, this is about to be a good 2 or 3-0 this for Salford. It's about, I think we'll wipe them, but I'm unsure. It's one of them tricky games where they'll probably play more like Tranmere and be a bit more defensive, kick us a bit more. Because what I believe is Sutton came out a little bit more than Tranmere and actually tried to have a game, although apparently it was drab. I'm not sure Grimsby will do that. I think they'll be a lot tighter, like I say, a lot of kicks. There might be a sending off this weekend again. But yeah, we're about to win 3-0.
Take that. We'll take that, Gav.
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck at. It's very. I'm very stuck in between. Is this about to be a tough game, or should we be beating these? Should we actually tails up and let's bang a couple of goals in early, and then get a third in the second half or something? Weather's about to be a bit dodgy as well. Like I say, it might be a bit rainy, windy, what have you, from these storms which are coming over, what so have you. The conditions, like I said, might have a big part of it.
All good to think about. Good, but you're still positive 3-0, so you've locked that in now, Gav. That's good. Well done, mate.
No, I'm not allowed to do a prediction until you ask.
All right, just in case you have to change it. Yeah. You're gonna wait till what Rousey says now.
No. You can have a 3-0. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Rousey, how do you see the game going?
No, I agree with Gav. I think it's Grimsby are one of those teams at the minute that I think everyone's a little bit unsure about. I think like they've been a bit hit and miss. They've picked up some good results. I think like I was looking at the last 4. They've lost against Carlisle 2-1, lost against Swindon 2-1. So that tells me they're close games. Beat Mansfield 2-0 and beat Colchester 1-0. So every game that they're playing, there's a goal swing either way, other than the Mansfield 2-0. But they seem to have been quite close games. Yeah, they're just one of them teams that I can't put my finger on. I'm not sure about them. I don't know how it's. You'd think that we'd have, playing at home, we'd have an home advantage, but I think they've sold their away allocation out, so they'll probably just bring as many fans as we've got there. But off the back of the Sutton game and the start to the season that we've had, which has been relatively good, I'd say that confidence-wise, we will go into that with no fear. Hopefully, Hendry can put 1 or 2 of those chances away, which I'm sure we'll create. And yeah, I'd like to say we'll win, but I think it will be tighter than Cramp, personally. I think it's going to be a tight game.
I mean, it is going to be a tight game because I think they got beat on Saturday. You got beat on Tuesday midweek against Carlisle.
Yeah.
But they've had 5 away games this season and won the last 4, so they're obviously travelled well. Again, opponents have not always been the strongest, but we do know that anybody can beat anybody in the day. You still have to win the games, and but to your point there, Rouse said, in terms of score lines, that they're winning 1-0 or 2-1. They don't seem to be beating, all right, apart from the Mansfield game, but they've scored 10, conceded 9. So the point there is that there seem to be very close score lines, maybe the odd 0-0, 1-0 wins in there. It should be, realistically, them being promoted, which, all right, deservedly, rightly so, to get promoted. It should be a game where we're at home. It should be one of them. This should be an easy game, but they have had a pretty decent start to the season, and it is one of them that could go either way, but we've got to be confident at home to play, to beat teams like Grimsby. And I see us winning, but I think it is going to be a tighter game than probably what we imagine. Considering that obviously we got beat off Tranmere last home game, is it important for us to get back? I mean, of course it's important to win your home games, but in terms of not just the 3 points, but what it means for the fans. I mean, the West Stand was getting more fans in. I always use the West Stand as an indicator of attracting
how well
fans.
we're doing. Yeah,
because,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, because obviously they can, people who don't go to watch soccer games are going to go, oh, Solid playing today. Oh, they've been doing all right. I can pay on the gate and go in the West Stand.
Yeah.
And as you win games, you get more fans, and Tranmere might have knocked a few back a bit. So for those reasons, is it important to get back on the winning train again?
I don't think it's overly important to win on Saturday, but I don't think we can afford to lose. I don't agree with losing at home. Everybody says you've got to win your own games, but Grimsby, like I said, they're the unknown. They've come down. We're not sure about them and how they're going to set up and how they're going to play. And they've had an all right start themselves. Like I said, and they're sitting, I think, is it 12th, is it, at the minute, something like that.
Yeah.
Winning is not imperative for me, but don't lose the game. Don't, don't lose any more fans. You know what I mean? And end it up or starting like a bit of a rot or an element of doubt getting in fans and players' heads. I don't think that's a good thing. But yeah, for me, I don't think it's imperative that we win. And I think, like I said, that this game will be tight. I think.
Yeah, Grimsby came up, didn't you? Not down. I think you've just made a mistake.
Sorry.
But the one thing, the reason I pointed that one out is they obviously had some momentum coming into the season. Obviously winning, they got promoted last season. So this beginning of the season, they got momentum from last year because the year before they went down, they come straight back up, haven't they?
Yeah.
So that's on their side a little bit. So that's why they're a little bit unknown. 3-0, as I've said. I think you both backed up why I think 3-0. One of you said they won the last 4 away games, so they're due to get beat. And another one was they've only lost by 1 goal, whatever you. They're very close, so they're due to get a stuffing, and we're about to do it 3-0.
So basically, you all the stars are aligning like a doctor dot, and you put it all together. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. Put a 5 on Sky Bet 3-0. I mean, a couple of one thing I wanted to mention is if the information is correct, Watts has picked up 5 yellow cards, so I'm not too sure if he's going to be missing on Saturday.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Whether, I mean, you'd imagine without him, is Lund going to start with Watson? If you as a third person there, who would you go with? Is it Jenkins? Does he get a start or something? So I imagine there's going to be a little bit of a change.
That'll be a big miss, that.
Yeah, no, it will be massive. But
I'm going 1-0 to them now.
You can understand why he's picked up his 5 yellow cards. We spoke about what last week again about how he tries to motivate the team. He's obviously a very passionate player. And to be fair, I think he's been a little bit unlucky with 1 or 2 yellow cards this season so far. I think the referee's been quite quick to sort of penalise him. That's my opinion. I'm not trying to be biased, but
I think he's a bit mouthy, isn't he? I think that's why he picks them up easier. Because as you pulled out about the Tranmere Sutton, where they're getting like a yellow card every 4 or 5 whatever fouls, and we're getting every 1. I think it's the back chat. So as soon as he does a foul, which is on the edge, the ref's going, I'm not giving you a free pass. Come here, and puts him in his book. That's probably what it is, and it's his passion. Like I say, a bit like Hendry. With Watt, he's the one. Watt is the heart of everything we do. So for him, I didn't realise he got 5 yellow cards, but you can see why. Like I say, and I wouldn't want him any differently, to be honest. It's a bit like when you look at Keane or Vieira, any of the top midfielders, they pick up cards because they get in where they put the body where it's needed. And yes, he's better off control that a bit because we can't have him having 5 yellow cards after 5 yellow cards, etc. But I like it. I like that about him.
Yeah, I think the difference as well is I'm going to give you two players here, Watt being one of them, and then I'm going to go last season, say like an Ashley Hunter. So I like players that play with passion, who are playing for the shirt, they're playing for the fans, they're playing for the teammates. Whatever. You're going to inevitably playing with that level of passion. You are going to pick up yellow cards. But my feeling is with Watt, he's not a walking red card. I don't never get the sense that he's stupid enough to pick up a red card or pick up a second yellow. Whereas when you had Hunter, sometimes it might be a tackle. Most of his yellow cards was just he was
easily triggered, weren't he? He was easily wound up, and he was
always on the line of thinking is it going to be a red card in a minute?
Yeah. There was a kick out in him or a nasty word to the ref or something like that with him. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
As you pointed out there, like I say, 2 totally different things. Watt and Hunter. Watt is involved in 90% of what we do. Hunter was involved in 5 or 10%. So his bad reactions, should we call them, he couldn't control them to a certain extent. Where with Watt, he gets his yellow and he doesn't look as though he's about to get sent off. Once Hunter got his yellow, he was about to be sent off. He should have in about 10 minutes if you didn't take him off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't book him again, he was about to kick you for not booking him.
He's only about 5 foot anyway.
Great player. I liked Hunter. He was, like I say, he did a lot. It's shame it fizzed out on these last 6 months here, but prior to that, he was very effective for us.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, just on the side note, I wish Hunter well. Obviously, he's had an operation. I think he's got a bit
happy
of a
birthday as well, isn't it?
Is it happy birthday as well?
Yeah.
Well, we'll say happy birthday. We'll that might be Rouse's song actually. He might have, that's what the song he might be singing.
Happy birthday to you.
We'll tag Hunter in and see if he gets a response. But no, as always, a couple of players to look out for the rest of the Amish fans. You've got Harry Clifton, who's their top scorer, 4 goals at the moment. You've obviously got ex-Amis Max Crocombe in the goals. And you've got one of the fans' favourites from last season for Grimsby, who's quite influential in them coming up, was John McAtee. So, a couple of names there to mention. I
didn't know Crocombe played for him.
6-0 now.
Yeah, that's just changed me prediction.
The thing is, though, every time I mention these players, I always kind of look out for them then and go, right, how do they do? And every time they play, they either get an assist for a goal or they score against us. I'm like, I need to stop doing it. But
he will think he'll definitely have a good game.
Have you two give your predictions yet, or
no, not yet?
Just me jumping in too early again.
You got excited.
Rousey, what are you going to go for?
I do think it'll be tight. I think it's going to be a shit game, a really poor game. I've just got that feeling. I think the weather's going to play a big part. I think they'll be used to that wind and rain being on the coast there. But I think we're good enough to win it. But I think it's going to be tight. I'm going to go for 1-0.
Oh, that prediction's a bit fishy, Rousey.
Yes, go on.
Oh, hey, see you next week.
Taxi.
I'm going to go for. I'll go for 2-0. Let's go in between. Hey, there we go. Not silly, and I'm being a bit more optimistic than Rousey. So there we are, in between. Right. So that's, to be fair, that's the podcast. Most of it done. We've got Gav's answer to his "Who Am I," and then we've got a lovely outro with a song with Rousey that apparently we all agreed last week that we'd learn and sing, so we'll give it a try. Go on, Gav. Right, so do you want to go over it again?
I'll go over it again quickly. Then you can. Have you wrote an answer down, or?
Yes, guessed an answer down.
So James, 6'1", right-footed, Leicester City. Do you think you need another clue? You've already wrote it down, so you can tell it. Do you think you'd need another clue? You can't change your answer, but I'll give you a chance to give a verbal answer, so to say, as well.
Well, my hands are here, so. Yeah,
well, I've not wrote it down.
Up,
I'll write it down now. Who I think it is.
Yeah, write it down, please.
Because I hadn't wrote it down.
Because mine's a guess.
This is typical cheating again.
I am.
It's
Elizabeth, Queen of England.
That's why he said, "Oh, Rachel's got my phone," but he's actually just googling it now.
I've got my phone back now. I have got it back.
Yeah.
Right, go on. I wrote it.
Right.
So he's in the current squad.
Yeah.
Oh, so are you both got in the current squad?
No, I went with the current squad player.
And he scored 7 goals.
Oh.
What, in his career?
No, this season. I think it's 7 goals. That's why I thought it might be easier, because he's actually in the highlight. The last few weeks, he's actually been scoring goals. Right. He's been coming up with a winning goal here and there and whatsoever.
I think I've got it right, but I don't. I didn't think he had 7 goals.
Go on, Rosie.
I've gone for the Ginger Messi, Ryan Watson.
Right, Martin.
I went for Theo Vassell.
It's either Lund or Watson by the. I don't think Lund's got 7 goals. I didn't think Watson had.
No, I didn't.
Got to be one of them two.
So it's Ryan James.
Yes.
Watson.
In there. Nearly
got 7 goals.
I nearly dropped an F-bomb. I didn't think he's got 7 goals.
I don't. That's off the top of my head from what I've read earlier on, but I'm sure it said 7, yeah. Or is that 7? Yeah, it's 2022-23 season, 7 goals he's got.
I'm going to have to check on this.
Yeah, that's a stat that's debatable. You got that off Wikipedia, that one.
Fans, check it out, and if leave a comment for Gav on the
I think
YouTube.
I was tempted to go Leek at first, but I don't think Leek's good enough to play for Leicester. Sorry, Leek. But
Well, to be fair, because obviously he was at Burton when I don't know whether how long ago he started the difference, but yeah, although he's 6'1" ish, as Gav said.
I'll take that. Can you see it? Oh, look at that, Ryan Watson. Go on.
Is that his autograph?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it says 3 goals here on this one.
Yeah, I
I
told
don't know where I
you
got
to, and I
7.
knew that.
I thought it might have been in cup as well. Where have I read it from?
I don't know where you've got that from. That's in his life. He's only ever got
Cup.
7 in his life.
These false stats.
Yeah.
To be honest, it might be this year, 2022.
I just guessed. I think
anyway. It's 4 end of last season, 3. So yeah, that was my mistake. Cut that.
Well done, Rousey. Well done.
It was an absolute guess. I don't want any credit. It was 50-50 between him and Leek.
I suppose they're the good ones away. You have to guess a little bit. If it's too easy, there's no point, is there? So well done, Gav. It was a good enough like that, mate. Well done.
I tell a lie, I did write it down.
I've got to go now.
Right, what are we doing now? What's this? My thing, my chant.
Yeah, you got to learn as a chant.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's just, Old MacDonald had a farm, something we all know straight away.
It's a good one. You'll like this.
I'm intrigued. I've sat back, I've got the popcorn.
Right. You need your microphone in a minute. That's what you're going to need. So let me get the lyrics up.
Let me find my mic.
Right. So I actually wrote 2. So I'll only give you one because we'll save one of them.
Yeah.
So you can either have Callum Hendry one or a McElhaney one.
Hendry.
Yeah,
I was thinking Hendry. He's in the team at the minute, and McElhaney's still out. So
this might catch on, you see, for Saturday. So
have you not got any for our coaches?
Yeah, I hope so. Right. So it's to the tune of, you're gonna like this one, Afro Man, because I got high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that, Gav? You might be a little bit too old for Afro Man because I got high.
Because I got high.
Because I got high. Because I got high. Da 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 da. Yeah.
Let's go.
Right. So it goes. He used to play for Aberdeen, and I don't know why. Now he plays for Salford City. Callum Hendry. Terrorising your... Oh, come on, Gav. You winding me up here. Stop it.
I don't like stop it.
Anyway. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
So, he used to play for Aberdeen, and I don't know why. Now he plays for Salford City. Callum Hendry. Terrorising your defence for all to see. Hey, hey, Callum Hendry. Callum Hendry. Callum Hendry. Da 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 da. Do you want me to go again?
No, he said this.
What?
What did he say? McElhaney won, is there?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
So I'll do it again. He used to play for Aberdeen, and I don't know why. Now he plays for Salford City.
Callum
Hendry. Terrorising your defence for all to see. Hey, hey, Callum Hendry. Callum Hendry. Callum Hendry. Da 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 da.
What do you reckon?
What are you thinking? Do you reckon you know that off the top of your head?
I think I've got it. A little bit. Might be 1 or 2 words away, but most of it.
I reckon if you jot them down quick, I need a rendition from each of you.
No, we'll do it together.
Well, I think it goes something a little bit like this.
He used to play
for Aberdeen.
He used to play for Aberdeen,
why.
And I don't know why.
Now he plays for Salford City.
Callum Hendry. Terrorising your defence for all to see. Hey, hey, Callum Hendry. Callum Hendry. Callum Hendry. Da 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 da. He used to play for Aberdeen, and I don't know why. Now he plays for Salford City. Callum Hendry. terrorising your defence for all to see. Hey, hey, Carlomandry, Carlomandry, Carlomandry. What do you reckon?
See, it's got better. It's got better as you continue.
Yeah,
continuous.
I'm trying to like do it in nursery terms and explain
Maybe
it to little
little bit of
kids.
banging on the side as well. You know,
A little
get
bit
it
of
going.
banging to
Like
get
it.
it going.
Yeah, it was good.
What are you
No,
thinking,
it's good, that,
Gav?
Rousey.
Are you ready for it?
Used to play for Aberdeen. I don't know why. And now he plays for Salford City.
Carlomandry.
Terrorising your defence.
For all to see.
Oh, for all to see.
Hey, hey, Carlomandry, Carlomandry, Carlomandry.
About 10 takes we've had of this.
Yeah, there you go. So I reckon the start of next podcast is on that. That's your intro, Martin. That
Yeah,
chant.
okay.
Has he
You can do
scored
that.
7 goals, Carlomandry?
Oh yeah.
I might have got mixed up.
Bad your stats, Gav. Bad.
He's probably not even 6'1" either. He's playing left-footed.
Yes. I'm sure you said he's got dark
He's
brown
6 up,
hair as
whatever.
well.
His name's not James, it's Gary. And he didn't start at Leicester. He started at Yeovil.
No, he never started at Leicester.
But
That
his
would have
youth.
made it too easy. He started at Everton, went to Wigan, then to Leicester.
Well, see, that's why I didn't get it right.
Because he's a Scouser, ain't he? So that's why I didn't say he started at Everton.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a Scouser.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Torre.
He is.
Oh, yeah. Best buds.
Yeah. That's why I didn't start off with that bit. That's why I said he was on the books of.
See, yeah, he disguised it very well, Gav. Disguised it very well.
Not
Well-
well enough. Rosie got it.
Well, Gav, thanks very much for the Who Am I
Oh, you're
and
not
your
singing it now?
contributions.
Go on, sing it to me.
What we're supposed to sing it together.
That was
Right,
the
okay.
plan.
Right,
Yeah, that
okay.
was the plan.
Yeah, go on then.
Right, Rosie, you got to sing as well to help us in and count us in.
Right, do. Ooh.
Oh, God, we're going right from the
Da
beginning.
da 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 da.
Used
Da
to play.
da
Oh,
da. Wait. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. He used to play for Aberdeen.
I don't know why. And
Now he plays for
Salford
Salford City. Carlomandry. Terrorising your
Your
defence
defence.
For
for
all
all
to
to
see.
see.
Carlomandry.
Hey, Carlomandry.
Carlomandry. Carlomandry.
Yeah, really bad. It was
He
really
used to
bad.
play
but-
for Aberdeen, and I don't know why. And now he plays for Salford City.
Carlomandry.
Carlomandry.
Do you not
Terrified
think?
in your defence for all to see. Carlomandry. Carlomandry. Carlomandry.
Gav, you sound like someone on a train singing with headphones in.
Mate, if you put that song on I just sang in a nightclub, be empty. Put it on the last song, they'll all clear out. My singing voice is like probably the worst there is. I can't
Right.
sing.
Back in your bouncer days at Gav, how to clear a nightclub out in 2 seconds.
Never a bouncer. I was a manager.
Oh, hey, well, thank Rouse. It was a good song. Hopefully, we get it going in the West Stand. I might
Yeah,
sing it in the
that
North
one.
Stand, but everybody might look at me like
Yeah.
some sort of weirdo. But good.
It'll have to be the next away game. No one will sing that in the West Stand. I'm telling you now.
Well, okay. Let us know how it goes in the West Stand, but we'll do the intro for that. We'll do it again.
Unless we save it for Leighton Orient.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, it needs to be a bit of
I'll
practice.
try and get
A
it
few
going.
people need to practice it, don't they?
Make
You
sure
need to- you need
cocktail
to-
bar on the train for Leighton Orient.
You need to seed it. You need to seed it, Rouse. There, plant the seed in a few
I will.
people. Get
I'll
it
just
going.
keep doing everyone's head in singing it. Someone will sing it with me.
Oh well,
If
thanks.
if you could dress up for it as well, Rosie, and coming like person, so to saying, get everyone motivated.
It's like a Bob Marley
Basically.
costume.
Yeah. I think you got more chance of getting it going.
We'll just go as Afro Man.
Same person in it.
I don't know, is it?
It's like the cousins, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Not same person. then.
Afro Man Marley's called.
Well, it's just like Burnley. Everybody's related.
Yeah.
Bit like Rochdale.
Rochdale, Tranmere.
Hey, Roasted, do you notice what we did on the train for you to that Rochdale fan? We sung him a Six Finger song.
Did you?
Just for you. I was thinking about you on that one.
Appreciate it. Means a lot to me, that, Gav.
Good.
Right, guys, let's wrap this one up.
What are we doing next week?
I'll do a Who Am I next week because Rousey might share his second song with.
You know what? I might do a prediction wheel or something.
Okay.
Do that.
Happy days. I like it. I like the passion that's coming
might
through.
take me a couple of weeks to get that one made, but
it's all right.
And I'll do some cocktails.
If you do that, do a prediction wheel. We'll get a prediction wheel going or something.
Yeah, I like the idea. Bring it to the front, Rouster. A couple of weeks time.
Yeah, spin it.
Like the wheel of fortune.
Thanks very much for your time, guys, and I'll hopefully see you Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers, Coops.
3 points, boys.
See you later.